Sox on the host Watertown Reds. The Blue Sox lead the best-of-5 series 1-0. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as a public service to all the fans in attendance tonight, we ask that you please remain alert throughout the game and watch for any foul balls hit in your general vicinity. Thank you. Now here are tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Lexington Blue Sox, leading off and playing left field, number 29, Dominic Zaire. Batting second and catching, number 16, Jeff Vigers. Batting third and playing center field, number 10, Taylor Ferguson. Batting cleanup and playing third base, number 18, Richie Burgos. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 5, Dorian Rojas. Batting sixth and playing right field, number 24, Julian Alvarez. Batting seventh and playing shortstop, number 4, Ross Curley. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, number 12, Justin Silvestro. Batting ninth and playing second base, number 17, Thomas Russo. Starting pitcher for the Blue Sox here at game number 2 tonight will be number 27, Mike Gianellis, and the Blue Sox are managed by Rick DeAngelis. Now for the host Watertown Reds, leading off and playing center field, number 12, Kyle Levine. Batting second and playing right field, number 7, Ben Johnston. Batting third and playing shortstop, number 11, Will Brennan. Batting cleanup and playing second base, number 14, Logan Gillis. Batting fifth and playing third base, number 44, Dan Chason. Batting sixth and catching, number 13, Jake Miller. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 25, Sean Callahan. Batting eighth and playing first base, number 9, Justin Foreman. Batting ninth and playing left field, number 27, Steve Tramontozzi. Starting pitcher for the Reds in game number 2 will be number 15, Nate Beck, and the Reds are managed by Joe Chiodo. Our umpires for game number 2 tonight, Joe Pascucci will be calling the balls and strikes. Sam Finn is the umpire at first base, Mike Finn at second, and again, Glenn Cole umpiring at third. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask you to please rise, remove your caps, and direct your attention to the flag out in right center field as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
From Morelli Field at Melrose High School in Melrose, Mass., this is Lexington Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Tonight, it's Game 2 of the 2018 Intercity League Championship Series between the Blue Sox and the Watertown Reds, with the Blue Sox leading the best-of-5 series 1-0. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sam Feely, ready to bring you the play-by-play story. Well, I said last night the Blue Sox weren't going to win this series if it had to be a grind, given the way the Reds played in the semifinals and the first round against Wakefield and Andre. Well, guess what? They won a grind. And I was telling the guys before the game that if they don't win the next 2 games 1,000,000-1, I'm probably going to have a heart attack and succumb to my own commentary on air, given the thrills of this entire postseason thus far for the Blue Sox. It's been a lot of white-knuckle action, but the Blue Sox are now 2 games away from their 14th Intercity League Championship. The starting lineup for the Blue Sox, becoming, the superstitious creatures they are, wearing the camo jerseys again. Dominic Zaire, after his walk-off home run last night, leads it off in left field, followed by Jeff Vigers behind the plate. Taylor Ferguson is in center. Richie Burgos is at third. Dorian Rojas is at first. Julian Alvarez is in right. Ross Curley is at short. Justin Silvestro is the DH. And Thomas Russo rounds out the lineup at second base. On the mound for the Blue Sox is Mike Gianellis. Gianellis had another Gianellis kind of game his last time up. Took the loss in 5 innings, allowing 7 hits, 2 unearned runs, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. That was on August 19th. That was this past Sunday in the Game 3 loss to the Alabrandis. And he's hoping his offense can get him some runs here and maybe push across another win, which would only be his second of the season. Tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Zorian, America's baseball brand, and the official bat and glove supplier of the Lexington Blue Sox. For the Watertown Reds in the red jerseys with the white and black cap and white pants, their lineup looks like this. Kyle Levine is in center field, followed by Ben Johnston in right. Will Brennan is at short. Logan Gillis is at second. Dan Chasen is at third. Jake Miller is behind the plate. Sean Callahan is the DH. Justin Foreman is at first. And Steve Tramontosi rounds out the lineup in left field. And on the mound for the Reds tonight is Nate Beck. Beck is making his second appearance of the postseason, went 3 innings and allowed 6 hits, 3 runs, only one of which was earned, walked 3, struck out 1, and surrendered 1 home run to the Andre Chiefs in the first round back on Sunday, August 12th. Here is Dominic Zaire to lead things off. And Beck winds and fires the first pitch at 8:01, and it's inside for ball 1. We're underway. The umpires for tonight's game, Joe Pescucci is working home plate, calling the balls and strikes. Sam Finn is at first, his father Mike Finn at second, and Glenn Cole working third base. 1-1 the count to Zaire. Zaire 7 for 11 with 2 runs, 1 homer, and 4 RBIs, including the walk-off game-winner home run last night. It was his first career Blue Sox home run, and he flipped the bat after swinging to celebrate what he was sure was a home run, but then the trajectory looked pretty low, and I thought it was going to land for a double, but his confidence was vindicated, and the Blue Sox walked off with the win. 3-1 the count. Down and in for ball 4, and Zaire continues his hot streak. He's now reached base safely 9 times in 13 plate appearances.
The catcher, number 16, Jeff Vigers.
Here's Jeff Vigers, who had 2 doubles and a single last night. Batting .353 on the postseason. Wants to bunt. The pitch gets away from the catcher, Miller. And up to second on the wild pitch. Goes Zaire. So it's a 1-0 count with a runner in scoring position. And now Miller going out to have a word with Beck. Already a little bit of a high tax here on Beck in the early going. Vigo takes outside, 2-0. Vigers in his career is a .362 hitter in the postseason. Batted .529 in last year's postseason. He takes low, and Beck is behind 3-0. Low for ball 4, and this is a common theme for Nate Beck, who surrendered 30 walks in the regular season. 30 walks in 8 games for Beck, who walked 5 and allowed 5 hits in a no decision against the Blue Sox on July 31st. Also took the loss against the Blue Sox on June 15th, going 6 innings, allowing 6 hits, 2 unearned runs, only 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts. So we like more of that performance than the performance on the 31st, as he is ahead of Taylor Ferguson, 0-1. So back-to-back walks to begin the ball game for the Watertown starter, Nate Beck. And Ferguson, knowing that Beck is trying to get on rhythm, will be granted time to throw him off. And another wild pitch. Second and third. Nobody out. Second wild pitch of the inning charged to Beck. And this is already after Miller had a suspect game behind the plate last night, including missing a pop-up on Zare's at-bat that eventually led to the walk-off home run. 1-1 the count. This is a broken back grounder to the second baseman, Gillis. He'll have to go to first, and they'll only get the out at first. And coming in to score is Zare, and the Blue Sox are on the board first. It's 1-0.
The third baseman, number 18, Richie Burgos.
So Vigers advances to third. And that'll bring up Richie Burgos, the third baseman. Burgos fouled it off for strike one. Burgos 3 for 14, but with 6 walks on the postseason. Yeah. Beck led the league in walks allowed with his 30. You wonder, as that's down and away 1-1, you got to wonder, how much was Joe Chiodo banking on Game 1 to be the Reds' chance to win this series when you started your best pitcher on 3 days rest? I mean, Matt Horan pitched very well, as that's inside 2-1. Let's give him credit for that, but he threw 101 pitches on 3 days rest, and the 101st pitch ended up being the game-winning home run for the Blue Sox. Burgos fouls that one off, and it's 2-2. But, you know, they play a best-of-5 series for a reason. It's not all decided in one game. But you got to figure Horan probably won't be available again until Game 5. And that skips away, but it was a late break for Vigers, who's usually very heads up on the bases. That's usually a pitch he can easily score on, but he didn't see Miller break early enough. And so it'll just be a full count. 2 walks, 2 wild pitches, and a ground out have the Blue Sox ahead 1-0 here in the top of the first of Game 2. Burgos fouls this one off. Dorian Rojas is on deck. Right now, the least Burgos wants is a fly ball deep enough in the outfield to allow Vigers to tag up. He will take a walk instead. Third walk of the inning surrendered by Beck.
The first baseman, number 5, Dorian Rojas.
That brings up Dorian Rojas with the double play possibility in order. Rojas, 2 for 14 with 2 RBIs on the postseason. 1 for 3 last night with an RBI single, bringing in the first Blue Sox run. That's low for ball 1. And Joe Chiodo is coming out to the mound with 1 out in the first inning. So we're going to see if anyone's going to get warmed up for the Reds, but yeah, there is about to be some action warming down the left field line for the Reds. The alarm bell's ringing already. Nate Epsilon warming up, and it's 2-0. Vigers at third, Burgos at first. 3-0. Julian Alvarez on deck. Taken all the way for strike one. Swing and a miss. 3-2. Beck hoping he can get Rojas to roll one over and get out of this with just the 1 run allowed. This is foul down the third base line. 25 pitches already for Beck.
How many strikes? Not many.
9 for strikes. That is a 36% strike percentage. Full count. This is popped up into center field. This might be deep enough to score Vigers. In comes Levine. Vigers tags. The catch is made. The throw to the plate is not in time. And on the throw going up to second is Burgos.
Number 24, Julian Alvarez.
So it is now 2-0. With 2 out and a runner at second for Julian Alvarez, who hit his first Blue Sox postseason home run last night. 5 for 15 with a homer and 2 RBIs on the postseason. Alvarez looking to make it 3-0 here. And he gets brushed back there and gets sent to the deck. A little sweet chin music there. 1-0 the count. So both outs in the inning have resulted in runs scoring. The ground out by Ferguson and the sac fly by Rojas. 1-1 the count. Burgos at second. 3 walks and no hits in the inning. It's not often that you get a multi-run inning without the aid of a hit. Been 3 walks, 2 wild pitches. That'll definitely hurt you. And Alvarez laces one to left field. That is caught by Tremontozzi. Vindication for getting chewed up by Vigers last night to the tune of 2 doubles. And after one complete, it is the Blue Sox 2 and the Reds coming up. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
For the Watertown Reds in the bottom of the first inning, Kyle Levine, Ben Johnston, and Will Brennan.
Hey, Blue Sox fans, don't strike out when it comes to your dental health. Call Dr. Tom Russo of Winchester. He'll make sure your smile is a real home run. Dr. Tom Russo, 781-721-4700. So Mike Gianellis, looking for his first postseason win, will take the mound, and the speedster Kyle Levine to lead things off. Levine, 13 for 23 on the postseason, 1 for 4 last night. And he takes outside, ball 1. Fouled off, it's 1-1. Gianellis, in the regular season, only 1-1, but with a 1.81 ERA. And he's ahead of Levine 1-2. Did not face the Reds in the regular season. And a swing and a miss, and a good start for Gianellis as he gets the speedster Levine for out number 1. That'll bring up Ben Johnston, the right fielder.
The right fielder, number 7, Ben Johnston.
So 28 pitches in that first inning for Beck, only 11 for strikes. Johnston, 520 hitter on the postseason as that skips down and away for ball 1. 13 hits and 25 at-bats, 3 doubles and 10 RBIs. Was 3 for 4 last night. A swing and a miss at a pitch that missed Viger's glove. 1-1. So both number 2 hitters in last night's game picking up 3 hits. Vigers and Johnston. That's in there for strike 2. 1-2. Gianellis winds and delivers. This is grounded up the middle. Curley has it, fires on to first. Another swipe tag. Oh, he did not get him, says San Finn.
The shortstop, number 11, Will Brennan.
So that brings the power-hitting Will Brennan to the plate as the tying run. And knowing this, Julian Alvarez backed up way to the right field fence for the left-handed hitting Brennan. And Brennan will take strike 1. That was nearly another miracle save and swipe tag by Rojas. He's played phenomenally defensively this postseason, but was unable to save Curley from an error on that play. Strike 2. Brennan, 400 hitter, 2 homers and 11 RBIs, 1 double, 2 triple, and 6 runs scored this postseason. Johnston off of first, and the pitch is down and in. Good block by Vigers, no advance by Johnston, and it's 1-2. Johnston 0 for 1 stolen base attempts this postseason, 2 for 4 in the regular season. Gianellis comes set. And a pitch down and in. And again, Vigers has to corral it. So from 0-2 to 2-2. Gianellis was ahead of Johnson, 1-2, got him to ground out, but an error put him on base. Ahead of Brennan, 0-2, and now even in the count, 2-2. This is grounded down the first base line, but that'll be foul. Gianellis comes set, the 2-2 again. Grounded to the right side. Second baseman Russo has it to short for 1. On to first. Double play, 4-6-3. A big shutdown play there for Gianellis, Russo, and the Blue Sox defense. No runs, no hits, 1 error, nobody left. After 1 complete, Blue Sox 2, Reds nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the 5th consecutive year, the Intercity League is pleased to be playing its championship series here at Morelli Field, and would like to thank all the hard-working staff that helped make it possible. To help support this great league, the ICL welcomes donations of any amount, which can be made at the table located at the main entrance to the ballpark. A portion of these funds will go directly to the Pete Frady's #3 Fund to assist the 2010 Intercity League MVP and founder of the Worldwide Ice Bucket Challenge in his continued fight against ALS.
Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email Sam at localsportsproductions.com for more information. Ross Curley to lead things off here in the top of the second for the Blue Sox.
The top of the second inning, the shortstop, number 4, Ross Curley.
Ross 1 for 17 with 1 RBI on the postseason. Takes down and away for ball 1 from Nate Beck. So Beck already about to throw his 30th pitch of the ball game. Curley was 0 for 3 last night. Takes strike 1 to even the count. "30 pitches, 12 for strikes for Nate Beck. Strike 2. So Curley, you have the right idea. Try to wait it out and try and wait till he misses over the heart of the plate, given how wild he's been, but no such luck this at bat. And he swings and misses for strike three and out number one.
The designated hitter, number 12, Justin Silvestro.
That'll bring up Justin Silvestro, who's in the DH slot tonight.
And Joe is in the fan slot tonight. He wasn't here last night, was he?
And Silvestro fouls this one off for strike one. Silvestro 2 for 7 with a run scored this postseason, getting his first action since Game 3 of the semifinals against the Alabrandis. 1-1 the count. A couple of changes in the lineup, as you may have noticed thus far, with Aaron Barboza not in the lineup, as that's in there for strike 2, 1 and 2. Dominic Zaire takes over in the leadoff spot. Julian Alvarez is back in the field in right, and Justin Silvestro assuming DH duties. 2 and 2. Although it wouldn't be completely out of the question for Silvestro to play the outfield. There was, I believe it was his first year with the Blue Sox, he played every position over the course of the season except catcher. He even pitched. Kike Hernandez of our squad, I guess, but this year he's been pretty much anchored to either second or third. The 2-2 once again. This is grounded to the left side. Shortstop Brennan has it. Fires on to first, and that throw pulls the first baseman off the bag, Foreman, but he slaps the tag on Silvestro for out number 2.
The second baseman, number 17, Thomas Russo.
That'll bring up the second baseman, Thomas Russo. Russo 2 for 7 with a walk this postseason, was 1 for 3 last night after missing the previous 2 games. And he takes low for ball 1. A much cleaner inning right now for Nate Beck, but how much will that early wildness cost him in terms of the rest of this ball game? This is a little Texas leaguer down the left field line and foul to even the count at 1. That's how Russo got his hit last night, a little inside-out swing the other way. But that one was too late on, and it got fouled towards Tremont Street. 2-1. No hits in the ball game for either side, despite the Blue Sox leading 2-0. 3 walks and 2 wild pitches contributed to the runs for the Blue Sox in the top of the first. Russo takes high, ball 3. Leadoff man Dominic Zaire on deck if we get that far. This is grounded back up the box. Brennan, it takes a wicked hop, and a convenient hop at that to Brennan. If it stayed low, he would have had a base hit, but instead it's another ground out to the shortstop, and after 1.5, it is the Blue Sox 2 and the Reds nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. Logan Gillis, Dan Chasen, and Jake Miller, the middle third of the order, due up here in the bottom of the second for the Reds. 14 pitches in the first inning for Gianellis, 10 for strikes. First pitch to Logan Gillis on the outside corner for a ball. Was that a ball or strike? I couldn't tell the call from the umpire. 1-1. Okay, so the first pitch was a strike. Okay. Two and one. Joe Pescucci not very emphatic with his calls tonight, I see. This is grounded down the third baseline, backhanded by Burgos. Strong throw in the stretch by Rojas. From Puerto Rico to the Dominican on that one. One down.
The third baseman, number 44, Dan Chasen.
That'll bring up Dan Chasen, the third baseman. Gillis, by the way, up to that point was hitting .348 this postseason with 1 homer and 6 RBIs. Chasen, .333, 2 homers, 9 RBIs, and 3 doubles. And he grounds this one to the left side. Curley has it, throws on to first. High throw, and another fantastic save by Rojas at first. 2 down.
The catcher, number 13, Jake Miller.
So on back-to-back pitches, 2 ground ball outs, and that'll bring up Jake Miller, the catcher. .375, 1 double, 1 triple, 2 homers, and 5 RBIs. Outside for ball 1. Strike for an even count of 1-1. This is fouled off. 1-2. That's probably the most emphatic Pescucci has been tonight with a call. Yep. Stay here. Just a foul ball. This is a little looper into right center field. Alvarez and Ferguson converging. It'll be Ferguson making the catch and a 1-2-3 inning for Mike Gianellis on just 9 pitches. After 2 complete, still Blue Sox 2, Reds 2, Reds nothing rather. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL.
All webcasts are archived for later viewing on the YouTube LSP channel. Hit it, Maestro.
Dominic Zare, Jeff Vigers, and Taylor Ferguson, top third of the order here in the top of the third for the Blue Sox. Still looking for our first hit in the ball game. 2 runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left for the Blue Sox. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left for the Reds. Zare walked and scored in the first as that misses for ball 1. Beck really settled it down after that wild first inning, got the side in order in the second. And Zare's brushed back there to make it 2-0. We were talking to Dominic's grandparents who were at the game tonight. You were showing us a stack of newspaper clippings of some of his achievements from his time in minor league ball last year with the High Desert, formerly the Mavericks, where they call the Yardbirds, now Texas Rangers affiliate.
He beat the Bakersfield Train Robbers.
Showing us a game in which he walked off the Bakersfield Train Robbers. Gotta love minor league nicknames, right? The 2-1. Outside, 3-1. I remember my Uncle Tim once gave me a shirt for, and I never knew if this was an actual minor league team. They appeal, and he did not go, says Sam Finn, so that'll be ball 4, and Zare reaches on a walk. But I remember my Uncle Tim once gave me a T-shirt for a minor league team of days past, but I never found out if it was an actual team, and it was for the Bonham Boogers. Literally. Again, I don't know if that was a real team. I'll have to look them up on Baseball Reference after the game, or maybe during the game, as Vigers gets a good bunt down, fielded and booted by the third baseman, Chasen, and Zare's on his way to third, and he is out! Rick DeAngelis protesting. Zare got a little too zealous there after the booted fielding by Chasen.
That's going to be a sacrifice fielder's choice, and then the runner's out at third. 5-6. Single, runners out 5 to 11. Oh, is it 1? Sorry. My bad.
So it's a single, and the runner is out 5-1. So Vigers picks up a hit.
Number 10, Taylor Ferguson.
So instead of first and second, nobody out. It's runner at first, 1 out. And now possibly 1 pitch away from getting out of this is Beck with Taylor Ferguson due up. Ferguson grounded out to second his first time up. And Ferguson grounds this one to the left side and through for a base hit. And that could have scored Zare if he had stayed at second, but that'll make it first and second, 1 out.
The third baseman, number 18, Richie Burgos.
So now the Blue Sox really need their power hitters to come through here, where they haven't really this postseason. I mean, obviously there was Alvarez's home run last night, but beyond that, Burgos, Rojas, Alvarez, the middle third of the order. As this is into left center field, that'll get down for a base hit. At least 1. 1 run will score. Slipping in center field is Levine, and on his way to third is Vigers, and Ferguson on his way to second. Let's hope Levine is okay. So there's the first RBI of the postseason for Burgos.
The first baseman, number 5, Dorian Rojas. Single RBI and back second.
So it's an RBI single. Vigers scores his second run. So the Blue Sox get their first 3 hits of the inning, and now they're up 3-0. This is Rojas grounding it up the middle, and this will be an out at first as Foreman coming back down on the bag, but the run scores. Rojas picks up his second RBI, and it is 4-0. Runner in scoring position, 2 down for Julian Alvarez, who flew out to left. His first time up to end the first. 1-0. Well, the Blue Sox going first pitch swinging at each of the last 4 pitches. This one Alvarez takes. Strike 1 to even the count. Four runs on 3 hits for the Blue Sox thus far. And Alvarez grounds this one to the left side. Scooping it up is Brennan on to first. And another stretch at first by Foreman. Wow, both first basemen playing phenomenal defense this series. And the side is retired. The Blue Sox pick up 2 more runs on 3 hits and leave a man at second. After 2.5, it is the Blue Sox 4 and the Reds nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy of this or any past LSP video broadcast or one of several different designs of bumper stickers. Visit localsportsproductions.com/store or the LSP Facebook page after the game to place your order. And remember, all orders within the continental United States come with free shipping. Yep. Bottom third of the order due up for the Reds here in the bottom of the third. Sean Callahan, Justin Foreman, and Steve Tremontozzi. Down away for ball 1. Callahan 143 with 1 double. But he's drawn 7 walks this postseason. 1-1 the count to Callahan. On the outside corner, strike 2. Callahan drew 2 walks last night and was 0 for 1 with those 2 walks. Gene Ellis can't catch the inside corner with a front door breaking ball, and it's 2-2. Gene Ellis working quickly, warming quickly. The pitch is fouled off onto Linfells Parkway. The 2-2 once again. Just missed the outside corner, full count. So Callahan with a 143 average and a 600 on base percentage this postseason. Looking to draw another walk. He will pop it up and it'll get fouled and out of play. It's a little more fight in Callahan than the rest of the Reds batters to this point. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up. This is grounded to short. Curley sets, fires to first. In time, 1 down. So after throwing just 9 pitches all in the bottom of the second, it takes 8 pitches to retire Callahan.
The first
Here's Justin Foreman, the first baseman. Foreman picked up his first hit of the postseason last night, and it was a big one, a 2-run single that gave the Reds a lead that they held until the bottom of the 6th. That's down away for ball 1. Foreman 1 for 16 with 3 runs scored and 3 RBIs. He has 3 sacrifice hits. This is grounded to the left side. Burgos booted it. So the second error of the ball game on the Blue Sox on what should have been out number 2.
The left fielder, number 27, Steve Tremontozzi.
Both errors charged to the left side of the Blue Sox infield. And here is Steve Tremontozzi, the left fielder. Tremontozzi, 7 for 21 with 3 RBIs this postseason. Tremontozzi in his 7th year with the Reds. Take strike 1. Tremontozzi's .333 average this postseason is higher than any single season he's had with the Reds. His career high in 1 year is .310. That misses for ball 1. In the postseason, he's a career .241 hitter. This is the most he's played in any one postseason, and this is 7th game. 2-1 to the number 9 hitter, Tremontozzi. Rojas holding on Foreman at first. Rest of the infield playing at double play depth. And that misses for ball 3. Not the guy you need to nibble against, Tremontozzi, even if he is hitting .333 this postseason. Foreman, by the way, in his career in stolen bases, 15 out of 16. None this year, though. This is hit into center field. Back goes Ferguson. Try to track it down. He reaches up, and he makes the catch on the run. So 2 down. A little louder of an out than I'm sure
Center fielder, number 12, Kyle Levine.
Gene Ellis would have liked, but Tremontozzi is retired, and that brings up Kyle Levine, who struck out swinging to lead off the bottom of the 1st. Levine, of course, had that tumble in the top half this inning. Fouls that one off onto Tremont Street. We have an official broadcast. Levine wants to bunt his way on, but this will get foul.
Oh, he's out.
He's out. It hit the bat twice. So Levine is out. Well, go to a baseball game, you'll see something you've never seen before. I've never seen that in a live game. So after 3 complete, it is still the Blue Sox 4 and the Reds nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
One Blue Sox error and 1 runner left on base. Your complete line score through 3 innings of play here in game number 2 of the 2018 Intercity League Championship Series. For the Lexington Blue Sox, 4 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, 2 runners left on base. For the Watertown Reds, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. Scheduled to bat for the Blue Sox in the top of the 4th inning, Ross Curley, Justin Silvestro, and Thomas Russo.
LSP's next broadcast is Sunday night at 7:55 p.m. when the Blue Sox take on the Reds in Game 3 of the Intercity League Championship Series. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy a DVD of the game at the LSP store. So the play on Levine was that the ball he batted hit him in fair territory, and that's why he was out. Didn't hit the bat twice. So
The shortstop, number 4, Ross Curley.
the Blue Sox escape with no runs allowed after Levine tried to catch him off guard there. And here's Ross Curley taking strike 1 from Nate Beck. Curley is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 4 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left for the Blue Sox, as Curley fouls that one off the mask of Joe Piscucci, and it's 0-2. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left for the Reds. Curley checks his swing, and it's outside for ball 1. And it peeled down to Sam Finn anyway, but he agrees with the call. This is grounded to the left side, deep in the hole. It's Brennan on to first, low throw. It gets away from the first baseman, Foreman. So that'll be an E6 that allows Curley to reach. And that'll bring up Justin Silvestro. Ground out to short his first time up. Possible bunt situation here. He does not square, and he takes outside ball 1. Swing and a miss at a pitch away, and it's 1-1 to Silvestro. The team leader in RBIs in the regular season, adding 2 for 8 here on the postseason. Throw back over to first, and the throw gets away from Foreman, but with him stumbling over Curley, that slowed the play down enough that Curley could not try and advance. That slowed Curley down enough. As this is flared into left field, in comes Tramontozzi. He makes the catch for out number 1. By the way, Silvestro is a 2-time Blue Sox RBI leader. Did it in 2016 and again this year.
The second baseman, number 17, Thomas Russo.
That'll bring up Thomas Russo. Ground out to short his first time up in the second. Ball one. Blue Sox have had a base runner in every inning except the second. Russo takes high, ball two. Four walks, 3 singles, and 2 wild pitches allowed by Nate Beck tonight. Beck is back in the count at 2-1. Back in the regular season was 2-2 with a 3.14 ERA, and as we mentioned earlier, led the Intercity League in walks allowed with 30. 3-1. Strike two. Russo may have thought that was a little bit down and away, but it's a full count. See if Curley will run here. Try and stay out of the double play. He does not, and it's outside for ball four. So first and second, 1 out for Dominic Zaire. 5th walk allowed by Beck. And here's Zaire, who's drawn 2 walks and scored a run, and could have scored a second run if he hadn't overran second base on that bunt single by Vigers last inning. Trying to redeem himself here with a big hit. And he fouls this one off for strike one. We approach the hour mark of this ball game. 4-0 Blue Sox. And the ball skips away from the catcher Miller, and up to second and third go Russo and Curley. As the 3rd wild pitch by Beck. 1-1 the count. Now 2 runners in scoring position for Dominic Zaire. Upstairs, 2-1. Blue Sox breathing a little easier thus far compared to most of the games they've played this postseason. Looking to expand those lungs a little more if Zaire can get a base hit into the outfield. Infield comes in with second and third and 1 out. Down and away, and it's 3-1. Ball 4 would put the double play back in order, but that would also bring up Jeff Vigers, who has been on fire this series. This is fouled to the right and out of play. Beck would like nothing more than a strikeout of Dominic Zaire right here. Beck comes set. The 3-2. This is into left field. Tramontosi camping under it. He makes the catch. Tagging from third is Curley, and he will score standing up. It's a sacrifice fly and an RBI It is the 5th RBI of the postseason for Zaire, and the Blue Sox open it up to 5-0. That's the least you can ask for in that situation from Zaire. And it's opens up to 5-0, but it could have been a lot worse if you were Beck. That'll bring up Jeff Vigers. Vigo 1 for 1 with a single, a bunt single, a walk, and 2 runs scored, as he's ahead in the count 1-0. Two and 0. Vigers 4 for 4 with 3 runs scored and 2 doubles in his first 5 plate appearances this series. He fouls that one off, and it's 2-1. Big gap in right center for the left-handed hitting Vigers. The 2-1. Fouled off. 2-2 to Vigers. So Curley's run is unearned on Beck. And every run from here on out in this inning will be unearned. This is reached for and fouled onto Tremont Street. Russo at second, 2 out. Inside corner, strike 3 called. Vigers a little nonplussed at the call, but the Blue Sox will settle for 1 run on no hits again, 1 error, and 1 left. After 3.5, we're halfway home. It is, 3.5, we're halfway home. I'm sorry, folks. I had the inning as the 4th, as the 5th, not the 4th. So after 3.5, we're halfway home. It is the Blue Sox 5 and the Reds nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Hey, Blue Sox fans, don't strike out when it comes to your dental health. Call Dr. Tom Russo of Winchester. He'll make sure your smile is a real home run. Dr. Tom Russo, 781-721-4700. Mike Gianellis had a game like this against Melrose here at Morelli, in which he pitched beautifully and the Blue Sox got him an early lead, but coughed up the tying run in the bottom of the 6th, and then the Americans walked off in the bottom of the 7th. But that was a game in which the Blue Sox only scored 1 run. Right now, he's staked to a 5-0 lead. And he will face the number 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the Reds lineup, Ben Johnston, Will Brennan, and Logan Gillis. Johnston grounds this one deep in the hole, and Curley boots it, but that will be an infield single anyway. And that is the first hit of the ball game for the Watertown Reds. So the Reds finally into the hit column here in the fourth, and that'll bring up Will Brennan, who grounded into a 4-6-3 double play his first time up to end the first. Not the first base runner for the Reds. 2 runners have reached on errors. This is into left field down the line, but that will slice foul for strike 1. Gianellis looks at first, as Johnston is aboard for the second time tonight. And the pitch, fouled straight back, and it's 0-2. 5th consecutive year that the Intercity League has been playing its championship series at Morelli Field here at Melrose High, and we want to thank the town of Melrose for allowing us to use this facility and getting it ready for game use every night. This is chopped to the pitcher, Gianellis, a little too high for him to try a double play, so he'll get the sure out at first, and on to second goes Johnston for out number 1.
The second baseman, number 14, Logan Gillis.
And I would argue that this is the finest facility in the Intercity League, and I would, if we could play every game here, I would. I would love to. Certainly makes my job easier. Want to know the count to Logan Gillis, who grounded out to third, leading off the second his first time up. 2-0, throw down to second, and back safely is Johnston. So a rare situation in which Gianellis is behind a batter in a hitter's count, 2-0 to Gillis. And Gillis has some pop in that bat from the right side. Gianellis will spin back towards second and make sure Johnston isn't going anywhere. Taken for strike 1, and Johnston is still ahead at 2-1. .47 pitches for Gianellis, as that's on the outside corner, 2-2. Popped up. Rojas, who's going to call for it? It's going to be Russo. Miscommunication on infield defense has been plaguing the Blue Sox this postseason, but thankfully, Russo makes the catch there for out number 2.
The third baseman, number 44, Dan Chasen.
That'll bring up Dan Chasen, who grounded out to short his first time up. This is fouled down the left field line for strike 1. Fouled off by Chasen, and he's behind 0-2.
Yeah, you need a roster? Yeah, well, that'd be great. Coming right up. We're delivering it right now.
0-2 the count, And the pitch to Chasen. On the outside corner, strike 3 called. Gianellis, only his second strikeout. The Reds get their first hit, but their first run will have to wait. After 4 complete, Blue Sox 5, Reds nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
Lexington 5 and Watertown, nothing scheduled to bat for the Blue Sox in the top of the 5th.
Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start at just $100 per game. Also ask LSP about streaming your next gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, school play, meeting, or other event. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Top of the 5th, it'll be the heart of the order due up for the Blue Sox, Taylor Ferguson, Richie Burgos, and Dorian Rojas, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. 5 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, and 3 left for the Blue Sox. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left for the Reds, as Ferguson holds up for ball 1. Ferguson is 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. 1-1. Two and one. This is grounded to the left side, scooped up by the shortstop Brennan, on to first. 1 down. Leadoff man retired. And that'll bring up Richie Burgos, who's 1 for 1 with an RBI single. Nate Beck still out there after throwing 25 pitches last inning, and he misses high for ball 1. Back up to 86 pitches as that's fouled off for strike 1 to even the count. 86 pitches through 4 1/3. Burgos takes low, 2-1. Top of the 5th, 5-0 Blue Sox. Blue Sox scoring in the first inning, as this is grounded to third. Takes a wicked hop on Chasen, and Burgos will be safe. So that'll be an E5. Burgos is aboard on the second Reds error. Blue Sox scoring 2 in the first, 2 in the third, and 1 in the fourth. Reds only got their first hit just last inning in the bottom of the fourth, as Dorian Rojas takes low for ball 1. So each team has an E6 and an E5, as Todd just pointed out. That's the only column where the teams are even. Blue Sox, by the way, their only hits came in the third inning when they scored 2 more runs to get it to 4-0. It's not like, but you know, 3 of their runs have been scored without a hit. There's been an RBI groundout, a sacrifice fly, an RBI groundout, and 2 sac flies. And of course, the Blue Sox. Blue Sox taking advantage of 5 Nate Beck walks and 3 Nate Beck wild pitches. That's fouled off by Dorian to even the count at 1 after a lengthy delay. So we talk of, you know, throughout the Alibrandi series about the Blue Sox not coming through with clutch RBIs and clutch hits. Well, they're getting their runs, they're just not getting them with hits. But then again, you know, you don't need them with hits. It's just, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you get them as long as you get them. Rojas is behind 1 and 2 as he swings at a pitch, breaking down and away.
What's the only number that matters?
The run column. A win is a win is a win. Coach Ty always said that. A win is 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 a win. Yeah. Well, yep. Bill Ty. That's one of the lessons. You know, that's one of the lessons I learned from Bill Ty. Yeah. Exactly. One way or another, you just get it done. That's all. This is popped up. In comes Chasen, and it's caught by Miller. So Jake Miller's wild ride continues as he makes that catch. Similar to the play that he didn't make on Zaire last night, although that was in foul territory. Had to reach backwards to haul that one in. They probably would have gotten an out anyway because Burgos had to hold up at first, and they had, if nothing else, they would have gotten the force at second, and the net result would have been the same. So 2 down for Julian Alvarez, who's 0 for 2, and he takes ball 1. Outfield playing straight away here for Jules. Came through with his first career Blue Sox postseason home run last night. That gave the Blue Sox a 3-2 lead in the 6th. 2-0. Before Manny Del Carmen allowed the first run he had allowed all year. And it resulted in a blown save at a tie game before Zaire untied it with the walk-off home run last night. I was talking to Manny before the game. And as this is fouled off, and I'll make it 2-1. I was talking to Manny before the game, and I said, "How are you feeling?" You know, if he were to, he said he's good to go, which is stunning to me. I mean, like, he's pitched 3 of the last 4 games, and one of them was 2 2/3 innings and over 40 pitches. Inside corner, Alvarez doesn't like the call, and it's 2-2. Nobody warming for the Reds right now, which is interesting because I know Joe Chiodo usually lets his starters go the distance, or at the very least, he doesn't have as quick a hook as most managers in this league do, as that swung on and missed for strike 3 and the side is retired. But when he started getting one of his pitchers warming up in the top of the first, when Beck walked the first 2 batters on 9 pitches, I'm kind of surprised that he hasn't gotten anyone warmed up since. Anyways, after 4.5, it is still the Blue Sox 5 and the Reds nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon at LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. Six, 7, and 8 due up for the Reds here in the bottom of the fifth. Jake Miller, Sean Callahan, and Justin Foreman. Our crimson-colored brethren trailing the Rays 10-3 right now on Players Weekend, as that misses for ball one. You know who has the best Players Weekend jersey of them all this year? Brad Boxberger of the Arizona Diamondbacks. You know, the name on the back of his jersey is a gift box emoji and a hamburger emoji. So the name on the back of his jersey is Boxburger in emojis. And that is up the middle and through for a leadoff base hit for Jake Miller, the second hit of the ball game for the Reds.
The designated hitter, number 25, Sean Callahan.
So that'll bring up Sean Callahan. Callahan grounded out to short, his first time up in the third. Just search Brad Boxberger Players Weekend. Callahan hits this one into right field. That's down the line, and it is a fair ball, says Sam Finn. Into the corner, fielding it is Alvarez. Around third, and now holding at third is Miller. So the Reds broke into the hit column last inning, and now here they are with a runners in scoring position for the first time tonight. And here's Justin Foreman, who reached on an error his first time up in the third. And this is suddenly starting to become a little interesting. 1-0 for, as that misses for a ball. That looked good. The Blue Sox dugout thought that was a good pitch. Giannella's still out there, and the pitch. That's on the outside corner, though that looked to be in the same spot, and it's 1-1. So the first extra base hit of the ball game goes to the veteran Sean Callahan. Ball two. Three and one. Looks like there's someone starting to get loose for the Blue Sox. No one throwing yet. The 3-1. Popped up. Going into foul territory is Rojas. And he makes the catch for out number one. So that'll bring up Steve Tramontosi.
The left fielder, number 27, Steve Tramontosi.
Tramontosi is 0 for 1 of the fly out to center. The Blue Sox and the Reds are now even in the hit column at 3 apiece. This is fouled off for strike 1, and Joe Piscucci bore the brunt of that one. Sam Finn and Matt Karras coming in to check on Joe. And the Blue Sox infield is going to use this time to discuss strategy with second and third and 1 out. Oh, that is Dan. That's Dan Graham. Oh, I thought that was. I usually think it's Matty in this situation, but all right. So that's Dan Graham. My mistake. So 0-1 the count to Tramontosi. Graham's still out there. Not sure what they're talking about right now, but I guess Joe needs some ice on that elbow. Or maybe he doesn't? All right, I guess he's going to be okay. So, back to our regularly scheduled programming. 0-1 the count. 1 out. Second and third for the Reds. As this is grounded to the left side, fielded by Burgos. He'll fire onto first in time. The Reds do get on the scoreboard with the RBI ground out by Tramontosi, and it is 5-1. Holding at second is Callahan.
The center fielder, number 12, Kyle Levine.
And that'll bring up Kyle Levine. As Levine, who got himself out touching a ball he batted in fair territory to end the third, fouls the first one off for strike 1. Tramontosi picks up his 4th RBI of the postseason. This is grounded to the right side. This is going to be a tough turn for Russo. He gets him. And the inning is over. Last inning, the Reds broke into the hit column. This inning, they break into the run column. But after 5, Blue Sox lead the Reds 5-1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
For the Reds at the bottom of the 5th inning, they scored 1 run on 2 hits. There were no Blue Sox errors and 1 runner left on base. Here's your complete line score through 5 innings of play.
You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at LexingtonBlueSox.com, Facebook.com/LexingtonBlueSox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL.
Blue Sox in the top of the 6th inning. The shortstop, number 4, Ross Curley.
So for the third time this game, the Blue Sox will lead off with the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for an inning as Ross Curley takes low for ball 1. Ross is 0 for 2 with a reach on error and a run scored in the 4th. He hits this one down the right field line, but that'll slice foul, and that'll even the count at 1. 5 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, 4 left for the Blue Sox. 1 run, 3 hits, 2 errors, 3 left for the Reds. Yes, the Reds and Blue Sox have the same number of hits, and yet the Blue Sox lead by 4, and that is in large part due to the 5 walks and 3 wild pitches uncorked by Red starter Nate Beck, who returns to action for the 6th inning with nobody warming behind him. Check swing, and that skips to the backstop, and it's 3-1. The 3-1 to Ross. Outside for ball 4. And the Blue Sox have a leadoff walk. Yeah. I don't understand that nickname for Mike Trout. Kid. With like 7 eyes, basically. So here's Justin Silvestro, 0 for 2 with a ground out to short and a fly out to left. He's going to square, pull back, and it's ball 1. No. You know what Joey Gallo's nickname is in Players Weekend? Pico de Gallo. That's down the first base line. Miller fields, fires onto first, and the sacrifice is successful.
The second baseman, number 17, Thomas Russo.
I mean, I know the salsa is pronounced Pico de Gallo, but... And here comes Joe Chiodo, and there is action warming now in the Reds' bullpen, and this might be time to... I'm sorry, what's Joey?
Does he have somebody that died in World War I?
What's Joey Votto's nick? Let me. All right, I gotta look this up.
It's a famous poem.
Someone's name is Renee Rojo.
Chad Betts from the Rockies is lettuce.
Well, there you go. It's an Eckersley special.
I like that.
Okay. All right. Okay, so Votto's choice for a Players Weekend nickname So you know how Joey Votto's Canadian. In Flanders Field is the title of a 1915 Canadian poem written by a military doctor during World War I. So it was a Canadian doctor who wrote the poem.
Recited it on Memorial Day. Part of a ceremony. That in the Gettysburg Address, which I actually recite half of. No, I got the second half.
Yeah, he said he wanted to do something with meaning for this year's jersey. 1-1 the count to Thomas Russo. 0-1, 0 for 1 with a walk. As the Blue Sox look to get this lead back to a 5-run lead. Curley off of second. The pitch is a strike, and it's 1-2. Dominic Zare on deck. The outfield is shifted to the left here for Russo, expecting him to go the other way. And he swings and misses for strike 3. So they won't have to worry about that. 2 down, and that brings up Dominic Zare. No official at bat tonight. 2 walks, a run scored, and a sacrifice fly.
Number 29, Dominic Zare.
That's up on the west.
Huh? What do you guys?
Infield plays a little more straight away here for Zare, although there's a big gap in right center. And spinning back towards second is Beck. Beck closing in on 120 pitches and nobody warming anymore for the Reds. 1-0 the count to Zare. Two and 0. Reds have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up next inning, Johnston, Brennan, and Gillis. So Blue Sox will definitely want to get a run back here to get it back up to 5 and have a little breathing room with the top offensive performers coming up. That's on the inside corner for a strike, and it's 2-1. Zare has delivered plenty of big hits this postseason. Can he bring home one more? Really just needs to hit one back up the box here to bring home Curley. He swings and misses. Good off-speed pitch by Beck. His control has gotten substantially better since that first inning. He's officially at 120 pitches. Missed inside. Beck took a couple of hop steps towards the third base dugout, but still got some work to do, Nate. Jeff Figers on deck if Zare can prolong the inning. The payoff pitch fouled off. Beck comes set. The payoff pitch. Ball 4. 7th walk issued by Beck. And the inning continues for Jeff Figers.
The catcher, number 16, Jeff Figers.
So Zare draws his 3rd walk.
Ties are high for this season.
7 walks ties the high for walks drawn in a game by the Blue Sox this postseason. Figers hits this one up the middle. This will be a stumbling cutoff by Brennan, and everybody's safe as coming in to score is Curley. And on to third on the play goes Zare. So kind of some awkward fielding on the balls that Figers has hit this series. First Tramontosi, then Chasen, then Brennan. It is now 6-1 as the lead is back to 5. And here is Taylor Ferguson. Ferguson 1 for 3 with a run scored. And he takes ball 1. And now, is that the Reds bullpen or the Blue Sox bullpen warming up down there? Well, I think there's a red jersey warming up down there. Okay, so 2-0. I mean, I know there are bullpens out there, but like the teams hadn't been using them in game 1, but Ferguson hits this one into left field. Tramontosi coming in, makes the catch, and the side is retired. So 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. And after 5.5, it is the Blue Sox 6 and the Reds 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy of this or any past LSP video broadcast or one of several different designs of bumper stickers. Visit localsportsproductions.com/store or the LSP Facebook page after the game to place your order. And remember, all orders within the continental United States come with free shipping. Ben Johnston to lead things off here in the bottom of the 6th. He's 1 for 2, reached on an error in the first, and got the Reds' first hit, a single, leading off the 4th. As Gianellis takes strike 1. Gianellis, even in the count, 1-1 with Johnston. This is skied into right field. Alvarez going towards right center. He reaches up and makes the catch for out number 1. That'll bring up Will Brennan, who's 0 for 2, grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in the first, and grounded out to the pitcher in the 4th. "68 pitches thus far for Gianellis. This is grounded to short. Curley's got it, fires on to first, 2 down. A nice play on the 69th pitch. That'll bring up Logan Gillis, who's 0 for 2 with a ground out to third and a pop up to second. Strike 1. Kind of a delayed call there by Joe Pascucci. Strike 2. In the top of the 7th, the Blue Sox will have the middle third of the order due up Burgos, Rojas, and Alvarez. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. We haven't had a whole lot of strikeouts from Gianellis tonight. That's just his third, but it's a 7-pitch, bottom of the 6th for Gianellis in his best start of the season thus far. And after 6 complete, it is the Blue Sox 6 and the Reds 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. LSP's next broadcast is Sunday night at 7:55 p.m. when the Blue Sox take on the Watertown Reds in Game 3 of the 2018 Intercity League Championship Series. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy a DVD of the game at the LSP store. So Richie Burgos and his peculiar habit of carrying the batting helmet to the batter's box rather than wearing it will step to the plate to lead off the top of the 7th against the new Reds pitcher, Pat Marr. Outside for ball 1. Marr making his 3rd appearance of the postseason, no decisions, a .233 ERA. In 3 innings, he's allowed 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. And he's behind Burgos 2-0. Richie is 1 for 2, walked in the 1st, singled home a run in the 3rd, and reached on an error in the 5th. This is skied into shallow left. Out goes Brennan, and he makes the catch for out number 1. That'll bring up Dorian Rojas, who's 0 for 2 with 2 RBIs, 1 on a sacrifice fly and 1 on a ground out to short. Want to know the count to Dorian. The sidewinder, Marr gets him to sky it into center field. Levine camping under it, and quickly 2 are down here in the top of the 7th. So Dorian is 0 for 3.
The right fielder, number 24, Julian Alvarez.
Now I'll bring up Julian Alvarez. He's 0 for 3 with a fly out to left, a ground out to short, and a strikeout swinging. Strike 1 to Alvarez. In the bottom of the 7th, the Reds will have Chasen, Miller, and Callahan due up, 5, 6, and 7. And Alvarez rifles this one into left field for his first hit of the ball game. So he's 1 for 4. And the inning continues for Ross Curley.
The shortstop, number 4, Ross Curley.
Alvarez would have been the 3rd out for the 4th time tonight had he been retired in that situation. Here is Curley, 0 for 2, reached base twice, once on an error, once on a walk, and scored both times. 0-1 the count. 1-1 the count to Curley. Fouled off. 1-2. Six innings of work for Nate Beck. 4 hits allowed, 6 runs, 5 of which are earned, walked 7, struck out 4, and threw 3 wild pitches as Curley fouls that one off, and it remains 1-2. This is reach forward, grounded, 2 seconds. Slow roller for Gillis. He'll fire onto first. And that'll do it for the top of the 7th, which I never updated on the score bug. So we go to the bottom of the 7th, closing time for the Blue Sox. It is the Blue Sox 6 and the Reds 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email Sam at localsportsproductions.com for more information. So here we go to the bottom of the 7th. Dan Chasen, Jake Miller, and Sean Callahan. Reds need to score 5 to prolong this game. Chasen is 0 for 2 with a ground out to short and a strikeout looking. On the outside corner for strike 1. Maybe Joe Pescucci a little conservative with the strike calls with his sore elbow. That's grounded to short. Curley fires onto first. Another high throw, but Sam Finn says Dorian made another fantastic save at first. 1 down. That'll bring up Jake Miller, who's 1 for 2 and has scored what is thus far the Reds' only run. The first pitch, inside for ball 1. Mike Gianellis still out there going for the complete game victory. Inside 2-0. Did not get the inside corner there. Looked good, but Miller in the driver's seat at 2-0. That catches the outside corner, and it's 2-1. Swing and a miss. Tied him up inside, and it's 2-2. It's been a very economical outing for Gianellis. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And the Reds down to their final out of Game 2 as Gianellis picks up strikeout number 4. The most pitches Gianellis has thrown 1 inning is 17. He's through 14 in the first, 9 in the second, 17 in the third, 12 in the fourth, 13 in the 5th, and 7 in the 6th. And it looks like we have a pinch hitter for Sean Callahan.
Number 4, Blaise Cormier.
And Blaise Cormier is going to pinch hit as he is behind 0-1. Blaise Cormier pinch hitting for Sean Callahan. That's low for ball 1 to even the count. Missed the inside corner, 2-1. This is fouled towards the Reds' dugout, and the Reds down to their final strike of Game 2. Infield playing back, outfield playing straight away. And the 2-2. Chop down the first base line. This will be a tough play, but Rojas has it. He'll give Blaise Cormier a big hug, and the game is over, and the Blue Sox take a 2-0 series lead in the Intercity League Championship Series. In a game that took 1 hour and 56 minutes, the winning pitcher is Mike Gianellis. He is 1-1. The losing pitcher is Nate Beck. He is 0-1. No save. The final totals for the Blue Sox: 6 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors, and 7 left. And for the Watertown Reds, 1 run, 3 hits, 2 errors, and 3 left. With the win, the Blue Sox take a 2-0 series lead in the 2018 Intercity League Championship Series and can clinch their 4th consecutive Intercity League Championship and 14th overall with a win Sunday night. Our player of the game, Mike Gianellis, a complete game 3-hitter with 1 run allowed and 4 strikeouts. Oh, only the 2nd complete game of the year, the whole season for the Blue Sox, against a team that led the league in complete games, the Watertown Reds. Well, let's also give a shout out to Jeff Figers, 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored, and continuing his hot streak in postseason play, as well as Dominic Zaire. No official at bat, 3 walks, an RBI, and a run scored. Well, finally a game without drama for the Blue Sox. One that was never really in doubt. And the Blue Sox can breathe easy. They have Saturday off, and then Sunday night they'll try to close up shop with another Intercity League Championship. So with that said, this has been a presentation of the Lexington Blue Sox in association with Local Sports Productions, serving Greater Boston student-athletes since 2011. Copyright 2018, unauthorized redistribution of any portion of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Lexington Blue Sox or Local Sports Productions is strictly prohibited. LSP's next broadcast is Sunday night at 7:55 p.m., Game 3 of the 2018 Intercity League Championship Series between the Lexington Blue Sox and the Watertown Reds, as the Blue Sox look to close out the series and win their 14th ICL championship. Watch the game live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel, or buy a DVD of the game at the LSP store. And be sure to follow LSP on the web, localsportsproductions.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon LSP37, Snapchat LSP Media, and subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. Once again, the final score from Morelli Field at Melrose High School in Melrose, Mass. It is the Lexington Blue Sox 6 and the Watertown Reds 1. My name is Sam Feely, reminding you freelance isn't free. Thanks for tuning in.